and welcome back to the channel. We are live. It is Tuesday night and we are in the middle of our 7 weeks of inspiration. And so you've heard stories from people like Megan, who was the winner of season 6 of The Biggest Transformation. She lost over 60 pounds in 16 weeks. She's a mom of 6. You've heard so many inspirational stories, but tonight you have the honor and privilege of hearing from someone that came out of our season 5 cast of The Biggest Transformation. This dude, this guy, this rock star lost over 70 pounds, like fast in something crazy like, he'll tell you, but and he's going to tell you exactly how he did it. So without further ado, please welcome to the channel, Jerry. All the way, he lives in the tundra. You live in the snow capital, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Hi, Carmen. Thanks for having me today. Yeah, we get over, I think, 200 inches of snow a year. So we are far in the mountains of Western Maryland.
If you've got to be known for something. I live in the snow capital of the world. Do you snowmobile there? Do they snowmobile there?
Oh, absolutely. Snowmobiling, skiing. It's really cool because we have a man-made lake, and a lot of people will actually snowmobile on the lake as well, which takes a little bit of courage because that is an open body of water. So yeah, it gets cold and snowy.
That's crazy. So
Yeah.
Jerry, I know they're like, come on, get to the goods, because they just heard me drop that you lost 70 pounds in 4.5 months?
It was 4.5 months. That's exactly right. Yep.
4.5 months. So he did it in less than 5 months. Now, Jerry, that is freakishly fast. So were you like, okay, tell me, before I'm going to make him wait for just a moment before you give him the goods. What was life like prior? So what did you weigh then prior to losing the weight?
Yeah, it's a great question. It was like 250.8 pounds. And life was not very fun, to be honest with you. I was on the cusp of, I just left a doctor's visit 2 days prior to beginning this program, and it was pretty abysmal. It was high blood pressure, cholesterol, and deep trouble. Type 2 diabetes. Let's talk about medication. Let's talk about this, and let's talk about how we're going to, keep you around for some years longer. So it was not a pretty conversation, Carmen.
That's crazy. So you left that doctor's appointment, and what goes through your head? Because you're a husband, you're a father, you are a successful businessman. So on the outside, it looks like you've got the house, you've got the car, you've got all these things going. But then here you leave the doctors and he gives you this news. So what goes through your head after that?
A very simple phrase: health is wealth. Everything that you just mentioned to me, I had, and I had, through a lot of hard work, lots of years of putting in a lot of time, and what I didn't realize is that those were factors that contributed to my deteriorating health because I put everything else in front of my health. I put the time, the sacrifice of time. I put work in front of everything else, and I was my last priority, if that makes sense.
So when you left the doctors that day, did you know something had to change, or were you still in the like it is what it is phase? Like where was your mind after that day?
No, and actually, yes, I apologize. So yes, I knew as soon as the words left her mouth that I was going to be subject to taking medication. It was going to change, and it was going to change quick, fast, and in a hurry. There was no BSing around what was getting ready to go down in my body, because one thing that most people will know is that I do not like failure. I do not accept something having control over me that I didn't design. So I by design failed at my health. So I was not going to allow pills and medicine to dictate how I was going to live going forward. So that was not an option. for me. So I knew right then and there it was on.
And when you say it's on, like, how did you pick a program? Like, how did you decide? Because obviously you were in season 5 of The Biggest Transformation.
Yeah.
How did you decide that that was going to be the thing that you were going to channel all your energy into?
Yeah, it was by referral, and I'm a big believer in network and being with like-minded people. And I have a very good friend of mine who had completed season 1 of The Biggest Transformation, and I saw his results, and I softly asked, because I'm not an intrusive person. Hey, tell me what you did. Tell me how you did it. I want to do what you just did and get the results that you got. And we had similar kind of experiences in that his weight was about the same as mine, although he's significantly smaller than I am from a height standpoint. So, um, I don't let him forget it. But the thing that struck me was I saw the work that he put in. He was quiet about it. He's a very quiet, unassuming person who just like me wants to put in the work and get it done. So that was a huge, tremendous benefit that I had.
So he told you what it was.
Yep.
You went online, filled out the application,
Yeah.
and you and I had never met. Like we had never met online, in person, like nothing. And so then you get a video back. How was, because the video is quite upfront. It's quite upfront with, it's my way or the highway. Here's the program. I'm going to help
Yep.
you get results. But if you don't like, what was there ever a point at that point where you were like, oh, I don't know what I'm getting myself into?
No. And here's why. You are my people. You are exactly the type of person that I can associate with. And when I tell you, the tough part was me sending you the video of explaining why I needed to be a part of your program, because that is not atypical. That's atypical for me in saying I need help.
Yeah.
I'm not very good at asking for help.
Yeah.
But it was the best decision. And I tell anybody who will listen to this, it was the best decision I have ever made in my adult life to allow myself to be teachable by someone. And this is why I have the most respect for you, because you've done it, you've been there, you've kicked its rear end, and you were successful, and you were able to share your message and make it such an easy platform to follow. And that's a true testament to you. I mean, if you were the right person to be in my life at that particular moment, and I'm grateful.
70 pounds. I mean, I remember first meeting you. I remember seeing your video. I remember having this thing in my spirit saying, this guy, like because not everybody gets accepted, right? And I
Right.
remember this thing like, no, like this guy is going to do something monumental. Like this guy is going to, like he's going to change his own life, but he's going to inspire people. And I mean, Jerry, 70 pounds in 4.5 months. So like, I know they want, like, what happened? How did you go from having that doctor's appointment? And obviously to get to where you got, it was bad eating habits. It was, obviously you were doing things like we get fluffy by having fluffy habits. And so
Right.
how did you go from being that person to literally making the switch and becoming this crazy, insane 70 pounds in 4.5 months guy?
So it was a mindset shift for me. I had to shift my mindset to be teachable, to be willing to follow a plan, to be disciplined, and to be absolutely dialed in. I have this innate ability, Carmen, to be hyper focused. So I can dial in on a task and literally make it my life's mission to complete that task. Heck or high water, I'm coming after it. And Not only am I going to come after it, I'm going to tell you to pack a lunch if you're in my way, because it's going to be a long day for you, right? And so that's one of God's gifts to me, was being able to hyper focus on a goal and not stop until I hit that goal. And 4.5 months is a very short period of time to lose that kind of weight. And I didn't even know it. I just thought it was normal. Like,
No.
yeah, I didn't know that it was an atypical thing. And people are, sharing their congratulatory compliments, and hey, you look amazing. What are you doing? And how are you getting there? And how do you? And I'm like, man, I'm just following this program that this exceptional lady put in front of me. And it's encouragement and it's accountability. But you have to believe in it, and you have to execute. It can't be your way. It has to be Carmen's way. And if you're willing to follow that, then you give yourself the opportunity to succeed.
Yeah. So what were let's say three. What were three pivotal things? Because listen, most of the people that are watching have a goal to lose weight. They have a goal to get healthy. Most of them are like us, where they've just been so consumed with career, with finances, with, getting ahead, succeeding, that they've put their health on the back burner. Like, what are three things that were pivotal that you did to have those kind of results?
Yeah. So I guess if I had to put it into that kind of 1, 2, 3, I would say the consistency is number one. Consistency / discipline. You have to be willing to walk away from everything that you knew or thought you knew about losing weight, because I was the guy that could say, I've heard you say it a million times, and I laugh every time you say it. I was an athlete in high school. Like, dude, I know how to lose weight. Like, I I don't need this lady telling me what I can do and what I can't do. I'm very fond of my memories.
Uh-huh.
And my memories tell me I was the man for a while, right? I mean, I think I shared with you once before. I heard music in my brain when I'm walking down the street. I was like, yeah, you don't need this kind of thing. But I would say consistency number one, being disciplined. One of the compliments that I got from my family often during this process is, I cannot believe how consistent and disciplined you are with not cheating. Cheating was just not an option. It wasn't, take an extra bite of this or taste that and don't count it in your boxes. And that was for me the most important thing. And consistency will cause winning to happen if it becomes a habit.
Yeah.
So you'll win if you just stay consistent. So consistency and discipline with following the plan, not deviating from the plan, because Carmen's plan works. Jerry's plan sucked, right? I've done Jerry's plan for 30 plus years as an adult, and it yielded zero results. The yo-yo bouncing up and down. I would be consistent for 2 weeks and then I'd be inconsistent forever. So the consistency, job one. Job two, picking a workout program that you absolutely can't live without, being obsessed with something that you enjoy doing, right? That was the key for me. And you gave me several platforms to choose from. And you were very consultative about, this is what works for me. This is how I did it. Here's some other options. And I fell in love with working out when, again, old Jerry was, sure, I can bench press 300 pounds. I can do that, right? That's what kind of man I am, daggone it.
Exactly.
But where it shifted, where the mindset shift was, I had to now just work out for 30 minutes a day consistently,
Yeah.
and make it happen. whereas, I couldn't make an excuse about, well, I don't have time. I had to prioritize my time, had to prioritize my schedule, had to prioritize my calendar, and I had to prioritize my family to fit into all of the things that we were working through. So if I could give you one piece of advice to anybody listening out there that is interested in a workout program, do it, create the movement, but please find something that you enjoy, because it becomes sustainable at that point when it is enjoyable. I don't wake up and say, "Oh, I gotta do this today," or I can't believe today is shoulder day. It's it's just a blessing. It's an opportunity. And I look at it from that vantage point that, yeah, I get to do it. It's not I have to do it, I get to do it. And if I'm gonna do anything, daggone it, I'm gonna do it to the nth degree, to the absolute best that I can do it. And that's where it started for me. It started with 30-minute workouts. Just move your rear end, folks. That's all you gotta do. Just move. Movement is the medicine as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. There's a doctor. I don't know if you heard of him. His name's Dr. Peter Attia. And he's super into health, and he's done all this scientific research on, combating aging and reverse aging. And can you do that, and fighting disease and dementia? And he often says, we have found a drug to combat aging, to combat dementia, to decrease the odds of cancer. And he always says it's exercise. It is exercise. That is the medicine that we all need to be doing. And so, and never the mind, it creates endorphins. And endorphins just make you a happier, more likable, people want to be around you human being. So 70 pounds fast, what would you say to somebody who's wanting to lose weight? Like, where should somebody start if they're wanting to lose weight fast? Like, now they want the quickest route from where they're at to where they want to go. They don't want to willy-nilly. They don't want to like mess around. Like, they want to get from where they're at to where they want to go as quick as possible. Where should they start?
What I did was I picked a plan that allowed me to operate in a calorie deficit that was probably it was plan A in your transformation program, and it was somewhere between 1,300 and 1,500 calories a day. Was the best decision that I made for myself, because unlike I'm not a fan of anything from a fad perspective. I see through fads from here to tomorrow. And this plan allowed me to have a healthy calorie intake, but yet allow me to maintain or support the goal that I was trying to achieve. So job one for me was not taking it easy on myself and saying, okay, well, you can go to plan C and take the higher calories, which is what I was able to do based on my current weight. I wanted to jumpstart that process. And by jumpstarting that process, I went to a different calorie deficit and was able to feel great the entire time, and know that it was supporting what my goals were for the long term. So I think picking the right plan is really important. And I think picking the right exercise is going to be the most important. And you'll see weight fly off of your body. Like, it's just those two simple things.
Yeah. And working out helps you be in a bigger calorie deficit. And my husband did the same thing. So when he was trying to lose 50 pounds and go from pot belly, if you will, to a 6-pack, he also ate in plan A and built he had never had a 6-pack in his life. And so speaking of 6-packs,
I will show you that bad boy from here to tomorrow. There is no shame in my game, sister. I'm coming right at the 6-pack. Right. And there it is. We're coming at you live.
Oh my gosh. Oh, Jerry. After he, when we were the cast, they always have to pick out goal outfits. And he's like, I just want to look good naked. I just want to walk around naked.
Yeah, I don't. Clothes are still unnecessary in my whole mindset. And you said something that I thought was totally perfect, in that I looked back at my very first Marco, which was May 16th, and it was the anniversary just yesterday, I think January 16th. And it was the anniversary of the very first Marco. And I shared that with everyone in our group, in our accountability group. And I could not even recognize the person that I was looking at. You said something once that I thought was remarkable, in that finding the fountain of youth.
Yeah.
What we have done is reversed the aging process. Now, we're not silly enough to say we can stop time,
No.
but we are smart enough to know that if we pull together the right habits, and we're consistent and we're focused and we're doing the things, we can reverse aging. You won't look like I looked, my face all inflamed and, unhealthy and just unrecognizable. I don't know, I didn't know who that fluffy person was at 250 pounds. And my friends and my family today will say, I've seen you, how you look now for the last, 2 or 3, 4, or 5 months, and we don't recognize that person that you were either.
Yeah.
So that's the benefit, is this is really a fountain of youth. And if you want it, it's within your grasp, but you have to be strong enough to take that first step.
Yep. No, 100%. And it used to be, and what you used to look like. And I love what Aisha said. She says they'll be like, I didn't realize you looked like that. They don't remember you looking like that, which is kind of crazy. And
Yeah.
so I want to end with this. I want to end with because there's people watching that obviously have looked at you. They look at you as a high achiever. They look at you as somebody who has accomplished a lot. And they automatically say, well, that's Jerry. He's special. He does this. He does that. I could never do what Jerry did. I'm not as driven as Jerry. What would you say to somebody who is where you're at? They've given to everybody else. They want to.
So what I would share with you is, I've actually asked the same question that you just asked, and I have given the same answer, in that there is absolutely nothing special about me. There is nothing special about what I did, and I firmly believe that, because I've had many people say, "Oh man, it's exceptional what you've done," and I don't see it that way. I see it as taking care of myself is my responsibility to God, to myself, because this is the temple that he gave me to take care of. I've abused that for many, many years. And I can tell you that if I can do this, you can do this. This does not take rocket science. It takes being willing to be teachable and to follow the plan. See, you can't come into this and say, I want to tweak it to do this. I've done that. Carmen and I have butted heads on, hey, you know, I wanted to do it this way. Thank goodness I had someone that was no nonsense, that was willing to say, but you can't do it your way, because this is my program and we have to do it my way. And that's what I respect and admire about people that can do that. So I would tell you, this is not hard to follow. This is very easy to follow, but you have to be willing to just follow the instructions. Follow the plan. We say it all the time. Just follow the plan. The plan works. And when you get off track, it's very easy to bring yourself right back in. It's simply measurement and reading. And I know Carmen would get frustrated with me from time to time, because I want to read the way that I want to read, and she wanted me to read the way she actually wrote it. So that was the difference. But yeah, it's nothing monumental. This is not hard. This is changing your lifestyle and following instructions. It's as simple as that.
Yeah. And I agree with everything you said. The one thing I disagree with is you said there's nothing special about me. And Jerry, you have a unique ability to be able to, when you put your mind to something, to be able to focus until it comes to pass. And course with the blinders on. When you get your mind set on something that you to watch your journey, it's been so fun to watch you transform. And as I feel so blessed to be able to have been a part and to be able to witness what you've done and to be in the best shape of your life in your 50s. How old are you? 50?
I'm 50 and I will have a 51st birthday on February 10th. So yeah, I'm expecting all the birthday wishes.
50 and fit.
50
like
and fit.
Have you been back to that doctor that gave you all that bad news?
Yes, I went back to the doctor for a 6-month checkup and she was floored. Jaw dropped. She was like, oh my gosh. She said, it's not just amazing that you did what you did. It's amazing. It made her feel amazing that someone actually respected her opinion enough to want to do the things that she suggested and recommended. So it was not only fulfilling for me because I knew I put in the work, right? I knew I did the things, but I also got to make another human being feel special because they said, hey, here's option one, here's option two. Option one is filled with a lot of medication that you say you don't want to take. Option two is you do the things that you need to do, but she couldn't give me what you gave me, what Carmen gave me. She couldn't give me a plan to get there. She could give me fluff. Here's what the FDA says. Here's our food pyramid. This is what you should eat at the top. This is what you should eat at the bottom. I'm a detail guy. Tell me, and I will work tirelessly until I get to where it is that you've told me that I need to do. If you show me the path, I'm going to get there. So yeah, fit and 51, I'm counting down those days, the best shape of my entire life, even those high school days where I was a legend in my own mind. I've never been in this physical form where I am doing 2-hour endurance pushes. I'm doing just things that I didn't think that were possible just to see where my limits are. That's what the coolest part is. I don't even know where my limits are anymore. And I owe that to you and this program. And that's why I'm a Carmen disciple for life.
You're amazing, Jerry. Anyway, you guys can find Jerry on Facebook. It is Jerry Merrick, and you can connect with him there. You'll see his name down in the description box. Just amazing human being, amazing family guy, amazing businessman. And also down below in the description box, you will see the wait list, the link to the wait list for season 8. We're in the middle of season 7. There's currently a wait list for season 8. So if you want to go through the same program Jerry did, you can get on the wait list down below. And we will be back next week, same time, same place with another episode of the